Hi friends, this is Krish the Urban Naxal, and today I am here to spill the beans about Godrej Horizon Phase-1. Godrej Horizon Phase-1 is a project in Wadala which they have just started marketing. It belongs to Godrej Projects Development Limited, GPDL. It's a Godrej company. Now, the important thing here is that you are going to be dealing with not just Godrej, you are going to be dealing with two other entities which are not only not very professional, they can be downright disruptive, and you are going to, if you were to book in this project, you would be laying yourself open to a lot of legacy problems which come from the past, the ghosts of the past. There is this project, Godrej Horizon Phase-1, carries the ghosts of about 2 decades of absolute chaos. It is a failed redevelopment project. It is a failed redevelopment project of two different kinds rolled into one project by Godrej, and the results are not going to be pretty, not recommended for you as a flat buyer. Let me tell you right at the outset, this is a project which is expected to complete. The proposed date of completion as on RERA is May 2028, that is 6 years from today. That is also a risk factor because you got 6 long years for things to go wrong, and you cannot go to RERA and complain and say that the project is not complete until this date, 31st May 2028 passes. Even if not a brick is laid on the ground between today and 31st May 2028, the only day you can go to RERA will be after 31st May 2028. So you will be on hold. Meanwhile, Godrej would take token booking amount, you would enter into an agreement, and there would be disbursals of loan, or you would be paying installments. You can lose a bunch of money that way, and with no legal remedy until May 2028. That's not a good thing. Now let me tell you more about this project. Let's talk about the location. On one boundary of the location, that is the eastern boundary, this place is in Wadala near what's the name? R.A. Marg. The eastern side is railway harbour line, Central Railway's harbour line. So the eastern boundary is the railway compound. On the northern boundary there is a sewage pumping station, a municipal sewage pumping station. I have no idea whether it smells or not. You guys can figure it out. On the western boundary and on the southern boundary, you have a lot of plots. Presumably they are redevelopment plots. And on one side you have municipal school playground. So this is your location. Now you are going to enter into an agreement exactly with who? This is the part that Godrej doesn't want you to know. So when you sign an application form, they are going to make it look like Godrej Projects Development Limited, GPDL, is the only party you are going to sign a sign an agreement with. When they give you an allotment letter, they are going to keep up the same facade. But when you get to agreement of sale, you will discover that you are signing an agreement with three parties. Godrej Projects Development Limited is party number 1. Shree Azad Nagar Cooperative Housing Society Limited, which is a society consisting of tenants mostly. So landlord property which had a bunch of tenants, which is being redeveloped. Shree Azad Nagar Cooperative Housing Society. This is party number 2. And there is an SRA property. There's an SRA society, Slum Rehabilitation Society, called Azad Nagar Cooperative Housing Society Limited. Because part of this project was a tenanted cessed building redevelopment project, and part of it was a SRA redevelopment project. And this is a project that started in the early 2000s, around 2003-2005. And this is a project which is a failed SRA project. The original promoter in the project was RNA, Anil Agarwal, well-known builder. They failed. For whatever reasons, they failed. And the failure dragged out till 2018, 2019. Lot of court battles, unpaid rent to the tenants. And it was a mess. One of the clear untruths or lies that Godrej is telling you is there are no litigations. On the RERA page, if you just look at the part where you are supposed to declare your litigations related to the project, no, they write. What is the fact? The fact is there plainly stated in their own title report. And this is a title report made in February 2022. And this title report very clearly says that there is a host of litigations. So in their own words, this is a title report by DSK Legal. DSK Legal is saying there are various pending litigations between Shree Azad Nagar Society and Azad Nagar Society and East and West Builders. East and West is RNA Builders. Details of which are listed in the report annexed hereto as Annexure A. Annexure A has a list that is really long. It's more than a dozen items on that list. Litigations. And then they say, in another place, there are various pending litigations between the societies and the erstwhile builder. 2 of these litigations are writ petitions. Many of these litigations are contempt petitions against RNA Builder or East-West Builder. Anil Agarwal used to own that company. So you have a number of notices of motion, and then you have, there's more than one contempt petition here. And then there are these appeals. And then there are 2 writ petitions, and one of the writ petitions is it is filed against State of Maharashtra, Municipal Corporation, and it is against Godrej also, and Shree Azad Nagar Society and the builder. So essentially 5 parties. That's one writ petition filed in 2021. There was another writ petition filed in 2020 by Shree Azad Nagar Society against State of Maharashtra and others. So you got a mess of litigations. Godrej tries to say there are no litigations. Now, why should this worry you? All of this is concerning the previous builder and all that. Yes, but you are entering into an agreement with 2 of these parties, Shree Azad Nagar and Azad Nagar. They are 2 cooperative societies and they are suing each other. They are full of litigations. And you will be entering into an agreement with them. What Godrej is saying very clearly in the development in your agreement pro forma is this. What they are saying is, it doesn't just depend on us, Godrej, to deliver your flat. These guys, Shree Azad Nagar and Om Azad Nagar, will also have to perform. And if these guys also perform, as in stay out of the way, don't mess us up, don't don't throw unnecessary obstructions, and they cooperate, then your flat will come up. Now that is a big if, because there are a lot of tenants. There must be political interests. There must be characters who are political in nature. There may be involvement of local MLAs, MPs, corporators, opposition leaders, ruling party leaders, what have you. So there is a mess here, and you will innocuously, without knowing it, innocently step into this mess if you don't read their title agreement and their agreement pro forma, title report, and their agreement pro forma very carefully. If you don't read this stuff, you are going to step into a huge mess. Okay. There are one or two more concerns. One is that you are going to be, as I said, living near a sewage pumping station, and you are going to be living next to the harbor line, and that can be very noisy. Continuous sound of trains coming and going day and night, and also honking of the trains. It can be quite noisy. And the third major concern is 2028, 6 years is the period, waiting period. If you book today, you are in a very long haul kind of a project, and there are 6 years during which things can go wrong, at least 6 years. So this is a bit like marrying a divorcee. Not usually a good idea. Marrying a divorcee with two grown-up children, Om Azad Nagar and the other one, Shree Azad Nagar. Each of them with a mind of their own. And you want to get into that relationship. It is not going to be a simple relationship. For a flat buyer, this is a dangerous proposition, because Godrej is not taking on itself the risks. As it is, the risks are there, major risks are there. Every under construction property is a risk per se. That risk gets worse if it's an SRA or a 33(7) DC regulation redevelopment. This is both SRA and 33(7). There are a lot of risks. You got a lot of litigation already in progress. You got the ghosts of the last 2 decades. A failed relationship between Azad Nagar, Shree Azad Nagar and Om Azad Nagar cooperative societies. The ghosts of that relationship with RNA will continue to haunt you. They deserve to have a house, fair enough, but you deserve to also get a house at the end of it. And if you expose yourself to that messy relationship and that messy legacy of mutual suspicion, and there a lot of water has passed under the bridge. So as I said, it is a bit like marrying a divorcee with 2 grown-up children. She is bitter, or he or she, the spouse, is going to be a bitter person. There is a lot of history, and 2 grown-up children are going to bring their own dynamics into your relationship. So highly avoidable kind of a property. Godrej Horizon Phase-1, not recommended under any circumstances. If you know what's good for you, stay clear. I'm your friend Krish, the Urban Naxal. Jai Maharashtra, Jai Hind, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan.